I hate old people. Why do I hate old people? Like, I'm trying to enjoy Bleach. I'm trying to like get back into it before the newest season and shit comes out. There's this part where there is like a Star Wars ish moment. Blah 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 blah. The person that I hate in question is this person. I've never hovered over their shit. I'm not surprised they have almost 1,000 comments. Because right off the bat, they're very hostile. Like I don't understand why. So he says, depends on if question if it's prequels or the blah 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 the newer one, the Bleach wins their contest. But like nobody asked that. He's asking the hypothetical question like, am I watching Bleach or am I watching Star Wars? This old boomer thought he was like asking a question to the comments like, is Bleach better or is Star Wars better? And then he decided to voice his opinion and immediately already get angry about the newer kind, which is fine because yes, the 7 to 9 deaths do suck. Blah blah blah. CW is Clone Wars, yes. Um, I don't remember who a Mandalorian. Duh. I haven't watched Mandalorian, but teardrop. Blah blah blah. Is a lame female lead. Man, I don't get it. Well, you'll see why later. Monk Jedi was blind. The only two things I like. Yeah. Okay. I didn't read this part beforehand. Like, I've been talking to myself the last 15 minutes about how I fucking hate old people. But yes, they are a clown show. I do agree. Blah 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 blah. Okay, this is where it starts to get fun. This is why I hate old people. Okay, what about Clone Wars? I've yet to watch Clone Wars, the animated series. Looks good and has cute alien waifus. Yeah, okay, wait, I can't get into that yet. So that has Darth Talon, right? Blah blah blah. More of a strategy game than action third-person RPG. He was talking about the Force Unleashed, and this is the first red flag that I had because I haven't played the Force Unleashed, but every time I've looked at it, to me, it's not like the RPG is light, so it's more like a third-person action game. It seems, but that was the first small thing. But this is before I knew he was a boomer, so it was kind of I don't know. So Battlefront 2 looks good on PC with some GPU tweaks. This was a year ago in 2021. No, it doesn't. It's quite outdated. He's talking about the 2005 one. Blah blah. Check out some YouTube channel for mods. Let's play TIE Fighter. No one cares. I will not be watching the Star Wars animated shows though. The new ones. Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know who that is. I'm guessing it's more of like the creative director ish kind of person of the series right now, which is fine. But he said she gets offended over cute female characters, hence Ray instead of a curvy Twi'lek. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't care. And then immediately in my head, I was like, the whole point of the entertainment industry is relatability to the customer. That is what gets them attracted in the first place. Like, when you go to Twitch, like a lot of people watch XUC and shit because he's a very chill kind of dude. He just sits there. He's kind of stupid, but kind of a cum brain at the same time. But everybody is. Um, there's relatability there. That's why they're watched. It just sells more. It's just how entertainment goes. So hence, Ray instead of a curvy Twilight, I don't think no main character wants to be in heavy like skin makeup and maybe prosthetics. I don't remember. They had the fucking tentacle things, but that's about it. Like prosthetics, at least at all, for any period of time. Nobody wants to fucking do that. Blah 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 blah. And not supporting the idea of a live service game, and the servers are still up for EA Battlefield 1. Yes, I think they are. At least they should be. Or Battlefront 1. I don't know if these are sorted by like date. Also, why can I not click on them? I don't fucking know. Okay. Shit. Yes, June 10th. Yeah. The servers are still up. With its loot box model, it should at least be free to install. Yes, just because something has microtransactions doesn't mean it should be free to install. It's just it. I personally believe yes, that would be better, but this was literally like the second game in the microtransaction progenation. It's like when it actually became an issue, because at first EA with FIFA, and then right after that Battlefront 1. But yeah, these newer EA games are for rich people only. The CES Sun, for instance, let the industry seek upon its own greed. Where's the single player content? Force Unleashed, KOTOR. I mean, there's a lot. It's just multiplayer games are more profitable-ish for the most part. Because nobody wants to buy one copy of a multiplayer game. They want their friends to buy a copy so they play as well. It's just the the super simple brain thinking of it. I like the original Battlefronts because you can do huge maths with bots. I also hex edited the game. I actually didn't read this part. I also hex edited the game so you can choose special classes like the Wookiee class at match start instead of using a credit card. I use my PC skills. I don't think he hex edited anything. He was playing against bots. I'm so confused. I like the original. I'm so confused. I didn't read this part before. I like the original Battlefronts because you do huge maps with bots. I also hex edited the game so you can choose special classes like the Wookiee class at match start. So as far as I remember, you get the hero classes after getting enough tickets or enough whatever the fuck. That I just know it from the newer kind. But you don't ever use a credit card, especially for the older ones. Yeah, you couldn't even buy the characters in the older ones or whatever the fuck. And there's no like buying the ability to use a special class from the beginning of any round. That's not like a purchasable thing. but oh well. I know they keep it the original lives with Game Ranger for online. I don't know what Game Ranger is, sorry. The newer games have Ray or Soilo Ren. Yeah, I'm a boomer though, so I grew up with Golden Age gaming. That's what I was thinking. So that's when the the floodgates kind of opened. Like this, like if he ended it here, it would have been like completely fine. I would have been like, oh, okay, I get it. You're old. Okay. Then he just goes on. Thing is, the world of business wants to turn everything into a live service. Your smart car, your smart washing machine, smart coffee maker, etc. They're doing it with cars with heated seats and crowd blocking the feature unless you pay a subscription. Lol, I don't want to live like that. I value hardworking consumer/workers instead of entitled business suits who want all your wealth as they do zero actual work in this world. Many things. These aren't live services. Well, okay. They're live services, but not live services in the way he's thinking of live services. Live service, like in its simplest, is literally just a service that is always available to you. So a smart car, like the smart features are always available. The smart washing machine always says smart. Shut the fuck up. That's what it is. Blah blah blah. Talking to myself. Sorry. But that's he said they're already doing it with cars with heated seats and crap. So this means his idea of a live service is a service you always pay for. Which I guess could make sense. I don't fucking know. I didn't look it up, but that's just what I think of. Locking the feature unless you pay a subscription. Lol. Like, I don't like people. Boomers do this with fucking everything. They're already doing it with cars with heated seats and crap. There's probably one singular example on Facebook or wherever the fuck. The one singular example of like a supercar or some shit doing this stupid thing. Like maybe, I don't know, newest Lamborghinis for the heated seats. It's like a very evolved seat heater, and you have to pay a 1 year subscription to actually use it. And it's like blasted over all boomer media because, wow, look at this really stupid idea that literally everybody thinks is a stupid idea besides the people making it, which is how a lot of things are now. But you can't take that and then use that as an example to blast that it's happening to everything. Because this has very little correlation with these. Because these you don't always pay for. But the service is still there. Like, it's giving you a more supreme service as opposed to the old fashioned route. So they aren't locking the feature normally. It's one fucking car company or some shit. But honestly, we should play the original Battlefront 2 again. But sadly, my computer might as well be a corpse. How slow it is. I was thinking about that, dude. If anybody has PC after 2010, then you should be able to run the OG Battlefront 2 with genuinely no issue. This is where I actually started hating the dude. Sell the smartphone and console. This is where he actually got disliked too, but he's been fucking liking his own. Oh no! Oh, you can actually see when people like. Okay, thank God. I thought he was liking his own comments, but God, this dude is stupid. I hope he didn't actually follow. So this is where I started hating the dude. Sell the smartphone consoles. PCs last for a long time and have the best games for free. Wouldn't be hard to find that game for free. Stop wasting your wealth on face smash / jobs. That's fine. It's like an opinionated jab at current societal shit going on. But I mean, this whole part it's more like female based because a lot of girls buy different style face masks for like fashion or for standing out, just shit like, I don't know, just to fucking do it. It's the same reason why they buy different shirts or pants. But like guys don't really do that. I almost accidentally clicked that one. PCs last for a long time and have the best games for free. My PC is a fucking tank. I've had this bitch since like 2014. Like I've got a GTX 1060 in this hoe. And this shit has I can play fucking Resident Evil Village on like a high, which is still really sick to be able to fucking do for having the same hardware for the last 8 years. But blah blah blah. They last for a long time. Yes. Best games for free. No. What do you mean? Blah 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 blah. I wouldn't know. Okay. I have. I did not finally cross the 1,000 mark, but yes, I do have quite a few games, so I do know where the good games are and where the good games are. I do prefer Steam. Oh, that's so sad. Why is that up there now? I forgot that was on Steam. I don't play it anymore, but that's why I brought this up because I was literally playing it last night. It lasts for a long time. Best games are free. No, the best games can be free if you use like Humble Bundle. They're never going to be free, but they're more discount. You can get them way more discounted if you use like G2A, Humble Bundle, shit like that, or Humble whatever. Would be hard to find that game for free. Yes, the OG Battlefront 2. Yes, because it's a fucking PlayStation 2 game. Because yes, you just highlight that because you do bring this up later. PS2 emulator. So yeah, you do know. Okay, you do know that you can find it for free because it's on a completely different console. That's why. But stop wasting your wealth on that. I would have, but I've invested too much in games to turn back now. Blah blah. It's true. It's fine. We all have, especially me. I made that mistake fucking 8 years ago. I hope they aren't live service games that require an online connection because one day they will expire. Yes, every fuck me, dude. Every multiplayer game requires an online connection. If you want to play something online with other people, you require an online connection. I do understand that this where's the single player content? So he is a single player Andy, but a lot of the community nowadays in gaming, or at least the populace, or popular part of the community, are more oriented in multiplayer games like Warzone and shit like that. Warzone, Fortnite, all that garbage. But okay, I need to turn my headphones back on because if this shit starts playing, I'm gonna get fucking DMCA'd or whatever. Where is it? Yeah, okay, because one day they'll expire. EA Battlefront games will eventually shut down for good. Every game with an online connection eventually shuts down for good unless it has a PC, like a community that does create servers for it. They don't always need to crack it. Sometimes it's just released openly. If they're good devs, no annual fees. It just depends because some communities who like patch the game and create their own content for the game do have fees for that kind of stuff, but you can normally just crack those. But you won't really be able to play them online. I'm serious about the live service model creeping into other aspects of life, already doing it the simple features in newer cars, a yearly subscription for heated seats, exactly the same thing he mentioned 2 fucking comments ago or whatever. A very niche, esoteric choice that a company's made. That's all it is. It doesn't apply to everybody. Just like paying these. This is my favorite part. Okay, no, actually not this. This part makes sense, but it's got to be explained. So PSN has one episode of. Actually, I'll go. Just like paying to use PSN, Switch Online, Xbox Live, the store prices are hilarious. He just thinks it's stupid. It's a live service, is what it is. Which is, yeah, it is a live service. You're constantly paying for it, but it's constantly given back to you as well. It's not just purposely gating anything, unless it's like gold or something. PSN is one episode of South Park, 24-hour rental for $4.99, or just use Blink or buy it on disc. So this is really hard to understand for like boomers because the way just fucking entertainment works in general. I think it's supposed to be like, fuck, what is it? Isn't it supposed to be like $1 per hour or some shit? That's how like the game economy works. So a $60 game you want to try to get like around 60 hours of content out of, which makes sense. South Park 24-hour rental is $5. The whole reason for that is because it's got like it goes through a bunch of hoops in order to get there. So it goes from the main company that made it. They have to pay all their people to make it. Then they have to license that to different places, such as PSN, which has a licensing fee to it. Taxes apply to that as well. And then from that, it goes to, I don't know, just fucking straight on the shit, which is fine. But all of that together is a shitload of like down the tube, like what's the fucking triangle pyramid scheme kind of Ponzi scheme kind of bullshit. Yeah, it's like that. It trickles and it fucks up everything because it's just an ineffective, expensive medium nowadays. And now again, now that I think about it, my $1 an hour kind of bullshit is based on like fucking 4 years ago. I've had the same thoughts for the last 4 years about it. But you go to the movies today. I think it costs like $20 to see some shit in like IMAX or whatever. That's like what, 2.5 hours of content for $20. This is 30 minutes of content for $5. It's about a fourth of the cost for a little under. So basically, you're paying slightly more. Like if you stretched out the South Park episode, instead of being 30 minutes, it was the same length as movie, you'd be paying slightly more for that movie than a standard movie, which is fine. But that's just the whole explanation for why the fuck it's a little bit more expensive, because they just send it straight to theaters. They've licensed it to theaters for years, so they have very like low rates, and it's more of just like a contract. I'm thinking between they buy tickets were equivalent to this much gets sent back to X company. That's why it's fucking expensive. Every entertainment media is really fucking expensive. And this dude just says, or UCF movies slash blah blah blah. That is pirating. That the whole point of the entertainment industry is everybody has to get paid. Well, that's really any job. Everybody has to get paid. Skirting that is kind of shitty. You can buy the disc to own it. That would be a lot cheaper, honestly. Because I don't know, electronic shit has so many hoops to jump through that there's just too much extra tiny cost to it. I learned the hard way with WoW and Final Fantasy 14. I got scammed hard. I want more. Okay, I got scammed hard. Oh, I think he's talking about see, this is one of the parts where analyzing people comes in like real handy. You could tell this dude spent way too much time, because he wouldn't have phrased this. I got scammed hard. He would have just said, I feel like I got scammed, or something in that kind of vein. But I learned the hard way with WoW and Final Fantasy 14. I got scammed hard. So he spent thousands of hours in the game and spent a few $100, and he feels like he got scammed hard, but that is just the value of the entertainment industry anyway nowadays. I want more Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 6 style games with modern graphics. I don't fucking know the difference. Okay, so you want a fucking RPG is what you want. Just play a fucking RPG. You know what looks I want more Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 6 style games with modern graphics. Hey buddy. How about hey buddy. Okay, no, Fire Emblem's more fucking what is that one called? Fuck, I actually love the art style of it. Oh my god, that's actually gonna piss me off. It's not Fire Emblem, it's fucking Octopath Traveler. So dude bitches about wanting a more modern version of an older Final Fantasy game. Here you fucking go. This is literally the exact fucking thing that you're looking for, you dumbass boomer. God. Okay, back to this. Blah 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 blah. It's literally, you just want more RPG kind of games, which is fine. He said he was more of a strategy RPG player, meaning his reflexes are ass. He more likes to play games he thinks he's still can be good at, because his neural disadvantages aren't really that effective in that game as opposed to COD or some shit. And a Warcraft 4 with only one DLC. Yeah, Keep wishing, brother. Don't worry, I must play offline games like Jedi Fallen Order or Doom, though I do have a yearly subscription to PSN. This is the genuine part where I disliked him. This is where I started talking to myself and I was like, I want to fucking talk about this. I said, are you rich? I just wonder how people throw their money away on PSN and Xbox Live. It's not permanent purchases either. So some shorten it. Xbox Live, I'm just gonna group them into one and just call it Xbox Live. Xbox Live is not a permanent purchase either. Yes, it's a live service. It's what it is. But that live service, you pay for it, you get rewards for paying for it, or unlock access to things for paying for it. PSN, Xbox, and Switch is basically renting games for full price. What? This doesn't make any sense, like at all. Just what the fuck does this mean? I hate old people, dude. PSN, Xbox, Switch, basically renting games for full price. There's literally 0 point where you're renting any game anymore. Yeah, you can rent stuff, but it's extremely like rare that a platform allows you to rent. You could buy something and then refund it before 2 hours of gameplay or something. But if he's talking about these services, which he should be, because it's the precedent sentence, preceding sentence. Fuck me. I just wonder how people throw the money away on the live service. It's basically renting games for full price, is what he's saying. So these services cost, from what I remember, because I've been a PC gamer for a few years, what I remember, it's like the cost of a new game per year is the cost of these subscriptions. And and he says it's basically renting games for full price. You're basically renting hundreds of games for the full price of one game for 1 year. Yes. And the platforms are better on emulators eventually. No one's ever said, damn, homie, the Dolphin emulator is so much more intuitive and so much more enjoyable than having an actual GameCube console right in front of me. Fuck GameCube, dude. We should go straight digital with every console. Doesn't make sense. Blah blah blah. PS2 emulator is fantastic. The PS2 emulator a year ago, I don't think was that fantastic. I think it was kind of meh. Because actually no, I do think it was okay because it was the PS3 emulator that I was looking into, which actually works fine now. Well, it helps that I own my PS5 with my brother, and I have a big family, so I get a lot of money every year. Well, I have a desktop and haven't had to replace it. Games and everything else being free. Games? Okay, actually, let me reevaluate. He's an offline player of strategy RPG games. Yes, all of his games can be free. That's completely true and fine. Yeah, but it's just because his niche video game preferences aren't a reason, or a positive of those preferences aren't a reason for somebody else to join that community unless they have those exact same preferences. Like, you wouldn't invite your friend to play soccer if he just liked FIFA. And he was like 400 pounds. You wouldn't do that. But games and everything else being free. So everything else, I'm guessing he just means like movies. He's a pirate. He's a 100% pirate, which is all it is. Which is fine because it's more. This website isn't really the best website for being a good boy. But it's censored as well. Oh yeah, this is the funny part. Okay, so games and everything else being free, which is obviously wrong for the majority of people, right for this guy, which is fine. I can barely afford to eat these days. So there's okay, hold up. I can barely afford to eat these days. I don't know why. His generation's the one that's kind of controlling the economy. So I'm sorry, dude. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. He's way too concerned about the like social bullshit going on with Disney rather than taking into account, like, he's bitching about the newer generation doing shit, talking about the one chick not liking or just being too progressive, and then him hating live service, him hating multiplayer, him hating the smart card shit. He doesn't like smart anything. He's clearly not even that smart himself, but he can barely afford to eat these days. This tells me this man retired with a shitty job, no education. That's it. You, well, for that one, you, my normal answer I can't actually say on YouTube. I'd say fucking Bud Dwyer, you shit. But like, if you can't afford to eat, this is your fault. You fucked up in life. You didn't progress your life. That's your fault. That's not the world's fault. So there's no way I'm dropping 700 a year on a console over and over again. This is the biggest gripe positive that people have about computers is, but that's not what he's talking about. But it's the biggest gripe or positive that they have about computers because there's so many like compositional parts that you could change or upgrade, and that's why people hate it, because those individual parts can be so expensive on their own. And he said, I'm not dropping 700 a year on a console over and over again. A console changes generations every 7 years, I think. I think it's around there. I don't really remember. First, you need to replace it every year since they malfunction. No. The Xbox 360s, yes, they fucked up a lot. But for the most part, consoles are very generally reliable, especially compared to a PC. PCs fuck up a lot more. Okay, if you exclude the 2007 generation of bullshit, PCs probably fuck up a lot more than consoles because there's so many individual parts that it's mainly done by people instead of professionally, so it can go wrong. Where it's not manufactured in a factory like the others are, so it could have slight changes. But yeah, first you need to replace every year since they malfunction. No, that's like I said, it's the part of fucking PCs. They'll have a slight part go out on you, but most people with consoles, that any malfunction will kind of become a common thing, so it gets taken care of. Then you need to buy PSN, which is hilarious. You don't need to buy it. It's not required for everything. It just gives you some bonuses if you do. And it's censored as well. I don't know how it's censored. I think he's he's explaining it like it's a mix between the old generation and older generation. So PSN is, I think, okay, PSN and okay, Xbox Live was the subscription based service for the original Xbox back in like 2002 or whenever it was released. That was called Xbox Live. Xbox Live just became an integral part of the 360, and Xbox Gold became an upgrade to be able to use that Xbox Live, and that's just how that was. But PSN, I think, I don't know if it's ever been PSN. I grew up as an Xbox kid, but I think it's just PS Plus is the subscription service. Yeah, PS Plus is the subscription. PS Now is the streaming. So, you need to buy. You can't. You don't have to, but that's how you do get like a good supply of games. If you're not really into the gaming scene and you just want some games tossed at you, it's pretty good because they're normally decently rated. It's censored as well. I think he's meaning PS Plus itself is censored because PSN variable equals or fucking. I'm not gonna not gonna type anything because I don't want to I'm gonna open any bad shit because I know if I hovered over this down here, there's absolutely gonna be bad shit. So I'm not gonna. We're not fucking with it. Okay. The Sensors well, no mod workshop. This the reason there's no mod workshop is because like consoles are fucking like one version released, like with one set of settings released, and that's about how it is. They max out the system, but they max it out just enough to where it can still run in a decent manner. Is typically how they do it, unless it's like Cyberpunk or some shit like that. But yes, they will do stuff like that. And when you do add a workshop or add mods, there's a lot of times people create new assets or add new assets, and it strains the system even more. And the system is, since it's always running game versions which are like tailored to be perfectly running on that system, there's not supposed to be a like your GPU is never gonna be fucking overclocked on like a PlayStation or some shit unless you overclock it yourself. Um, but because those are never like that, it's got like a safety net to where because there's never those overclocking moments, the chip can last a lot longer. It could be a lot safer. Once you start adding workshop shit, then you could expand the system or the assets and then fuck up the system, which is why it's like that. No jiggly titty mods. Fucking go outside, dude. Do something. I don't know. You're a boomer. Yeah, you've been around since dial up. You know the solution. Go do it. Unless you got arthritis. Fuck. I forgot he's old. That sucks. Oh well. Then a new controller every year because they are low quality as well. Oh shit! Almost got DMCA. Unless you are gripping the shit, unless you have like a vibrating app on your bullshit that you're using 24 hours a day because you're degenerate. Unless you're slamming it because you're a degenerate goblin, you're fucking coming in it because you're a degenerate ape, which, yeah. If you do any of those, then yeah, you'll have to replace them every year. But I've treated my fucking Xbox One controller like shit for the last like 4 years, 5 years, and it's ran wonderfully. I just broke it last week because because of all the like bending of the wire, it actually tore one of the wires in casings, so it started to melt the wire from the inside. So it was literally what it was just because of me fucking handling it bad. But Logitech PC USB, he's talking about a controller, is half the price, and I've had it for 10 years. Had it for 10 years. That's actually a good point. Like PC made controllers are okay. It's just no one likes the feel of them, dude. Like you don't buy a $50 bed frame over $100 bed frame just because it's half off, even though it's infested with like holes. You pay that little extra bit to get the quality and feel that you want. That's how every consumer product works. But if you don't care about that, which this man clearly doesn't, then it's completely fine. Fucking live like that. It's the best way to stay frugal. I don't like smartphones either, so those newer PS controllers are silly. I don't understand that at all. Because I don't understand it. The PS5 controllers, I'm guessing you're talking about, but like I don't know what those have to do at all with smartphones. So, oh, and Sony's censorship has gotten really bad. That's the second time he's called something soy in this shit, dude. He's like 80 years old. He's very lacking on soy, I'm assuming. The poor guy is down tremendously bad. He loves anime. Like, nonsense. He's very belligerent. And he's like such a cum brain at like 60 years old. And he's just mad about it. But that's why I hate old people. He's so hard headed to be mad about new Disney. He's answering question no one asked. There are no askers around. Some blah blah blah. He hates female leads as well. But he's a cumbrain, which is like makes it so confusing. He's got these really stupid points that just don't make any sense. And he's dead set on them. Supporting the idea of a live service game. You already did your time, brother man. You already gave them what they wanted. All right. So I don't know. This dude, I just hate old people because they have such stupid fucking ideas like this. You should never like be this like hard-headed, cum-brain, belligerent, and just old as fuck. Like I'm sorry, dude. God, I don't. He can't even tell him to grow up because like I don't fucking. He still thinks like a 14-year-old does nowadays. But I don't even know what you say to him. Like, get well soon. It'll be get over your like dementia, your schizophrenia, whatever is plaguing you, my guy. I hope it gets resolved quick. But that was just my rant on why the fuck I hate old people. Goodbye.